For my new listeners, Matt Nagin is a writer and comedian. He has been writing fiction and poetry for almost 30 years. His newest book, sure to be a bestseller, The Book of Outcasts, is his 5th book. And he's here to drop a little knowledge on us. It's my great pleasure to give a real talk welcome back to Matt Nagin. Welcome back, Matt.
Oh, thank you again for having me here. Always a pleasure, Audrey. And I'm going to be extra careful to duck this week and wear my bulletproof vest when I go on stage as a comedian, because I say crazy stuff too. But we'll get into that. But it's great to be here and always nice to chat with you.
Thank you. So Marxists and communists, we're going to start our little series, are so desperate to kill free speech that they thought killing a Christian man who challenged the culture and the Marxist ideas swimming around it would do it. But that didn't happen, did it?
Oh, no, not at all. I think there's been a backlash for sure. A terrible tragedy. Yeah. What happened, of course, and to Charlie Kirk and to his family, and no, I think if anything, it's solidified the need for people to articulate their views, whether you agree with them or not, right, and have that in a public forum, and that's a great part of our American experiment, and an important part, maybe the most important part. And he's I guess like a martyr in a way for standing up for free speech, I think.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And the only ones that I saw that, because it's just very telling about our culture now, that I had no idea we had so many Marxists among us. They're so cold-hearted that they didn't even have any compassion for the family. And they actually think it's okay to murder someone they disagree with. And we can't have that if we're going to have, a country, right?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, there's no excuse for violence. Yeah. What he was doing was actually pretty noble, because he's going and taking that Q&A format and offering a debate, which is what we need more, because we're isolated into these separate camps. So we need to talk. We need to at the end of the day, we are all Americans.
Yes.
And find some common ground or work out our differences and learn to tolerate each other. But yeah, violence is never the answer. I mean, that was horrible. What happened to him, a young guy, 31. It's terrible.
Yeah. I'm going to jump back up to my old neighborhood. My former neighbors are about to put in New York City's very own Sadiq Khan, a Muslim Marxist. And that's in the city where thousands of innocent Americans were slaughtered by Muslim men using airplanes as weapons. What is wrong with these people? I mean, what is it that they see when they look at Mamdani? I mean, what is he, the Candyman? I mean, I don't get this. I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they're seeing that Ground Zero is going to be turned into a giant mosque or something. I don't know what they're thinking, but or maybe everyone gets. I think you should give some of these, liberals, these communist liberals, these brainwashed woke monsters, a one-way ticket back to wherever they came from. Get them back in those countries. Absolutely. If they want Sharia law, there's plenty of places that are offering it right now.
They're offering it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, you don't need to bring it over here. Don't export that Sharia law. I mean, New York, I'm sorry, I'm an American at the end of the day. It's the capital of commerce. It's a capital of trade. It really is the emblem of capitalism and democracy and the cultural diversity. Yeah. So I get that, but I don't think this communist Marxist ideology,
Yeah.
especially mixed in with the Sharia stuff, is appropriate for New York. It's just the wrong thing.
No,
So,
and they're going to find out the hard way, unfortunately, because I don't know what it is they see when they look at him. Just see another angry Muslim, because anytime you see any of these men, let's be honest, anytime you see any of these men on camera in these countries, they're angry. They're angry.
Right.
They're violent. So what do they see when they look at him? Even his smile looks angry to me. So, they must be hypnotized, but they're not going to like it when they wake up from that dream and find that they were actually in a nightmare, because that's what they're going to get with him. I mean,
yeah,
absolutely.
no, I think so. I think so. I mean, New York is already teetering. It has come back a little bit, but it definitely can't withstand another terrible mayor. We had Big Bird, Bill de Blasio, who
Yeah.
ran the city into the ground, and
Big Bird. Yeah.
Eric Adams isn't
Yeah.
much better, but
Yeah.
he is better than de Blasio.
I know. I can't believe I'm saying that, but you're right. He was
Yeah.
better than
Yeah.
de Blasio. But now he's just basically blowing kisses to anybody he can to try to get votes, and he's just looking stupid,
Yeah, and so whatever they can get, anyone. I'll take a donkey on the side of the road over Mamdani. They got to get this guy out. So,
But instead, you're getting a goat. Anyways, most people don't realize. Now I've had, the listeners know for years, I have comedians, because I used to work in that business, and I have a lot of friends that are comedians. Hello, and they have been telling me over the years, especially with Obama, about how their careers were being affected. Most people don't realize that comedians do not exist in communist countries. And if anyone's shocked by that, you shouldn't be. You cannot joke about the politicians or the regime, their policies, or the results of their policies, or their party itself. Most Communist Party leaders are paranoid, and they should be, since the people don't want their reign of terror. During the Obama and Biden years, political correctness and cancel culture ruled the day, and it was affecting a lot of comedians, as I mentioned. How important, this is a big question, how important is free speech to comedy, and should comedians start standing up for that right now?
Oh, absolutely. Basically, they are inseparable. Without free speech, you don't have comedy. You can't even do any kind of joke. For all we know, you do a chicken cross the road joke, and the next thing you know, you're locked up in a gulag. I don't want that. So basically, what are we talking about here with these communist countries? They can't have comedy. They got no sense of humor. All they do is work for the system that exploits them and buys into their woke mind virus game. So comedy requires free speech, and it's almost like a game between the audience and the comedian, where people are going to put down their guard a little bit and say stuff that they might not normally hear or say in polite society, or think, and it's going to be a safe space to push that envelope and see how far together they can do it. That's why when they take something a comedian says out of an act and then they make a scandal out of it, they don't really get the context or like the whole thing going on with that individual audience member, and it distorts it because it is a unique thing, and it depends on free speech. You actually can't even really
have it without
much comedy,
right?
without free speech.
Well, here's the other thing I think that comedy does for the culture itself is that it helps us to laugh at ourselves. We don't take ourselves too seriously. There's times for things to be serious, but we take ourselves too seriously. Everyone has a thin skin. Most people now, and so everybody's offended. Well, you can't have comedy with that, and comedy is important in that it helps us to laugh at ourselves. And we kind of lost that now. People can't even laugh at themselves because they're concerned about offending someone, and that's really control of the language, isn't it?
Definitely. And it's also mind control. And that's one of the issues I think the public has had with the Democrats, that they were always on the control side, much more than you would ever see on the right.
Yes, right.
And honestly, one of the appeals, I think, of President Trump is that he is more able to laugh at himself and to make jokes and be ironic I mean, when he did that whole he trolled Kamala with the working at McDonald's, and I actually worked at McDonald's,
Yeah.
that she would have never done something like that. She had no sense of humor.
No sense
she
of
was
humor.
flat effort, and just so. And same with Hillary, no sense of humor. These people are lifeless bores. So actually, that's another interesting trend that I've noticed, is that some of the punk rock and roll and a little bit of the edge in the culture has shifted now to the right. You see, like within comedy with Kill Tony and this kind of stuff. I mean, it used to be left wing was the edgy,
Yeah.
and the right wing was kind of the, like the Bob Dole and stuff. And you can't say that in that rap, but it really has shifted. Where it's a weird cultural shift. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes, that's true. And they are, because they've become more Marxist. They're no longer. They can't. You're right. That was a great point, because Kamala would never do that. Obama. They don't. They can't laugh at themselves, and it's a very dangerous thing to be that thin-skinned. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. You have to, because it's not healthy actually for you to be that serious. Because believe you me, they don't need. Well, the only thing that's serious is that the fact that they're still walking around among us. They need to be in a nice padded room somewhere. I wanted to jump over to, we've talked on the show about the mRNA vaccines, and of course we're yet to see the horrible damage that's still down the road for some, because 81% of the people in this country had gotten one. And I think about 75% got two, and then it dropped precipitously off from there. But many people we know have been, some have died, some have been crippled from this stuff. But there's something that's worse. We should always care about the next generation. And, attorney Aaron Siri shared the results of a bombshell vaxxed versus unvaxxed study, the childhood vaccine schedule. And it's like insane. I mean, it's like 72 shots we give these kids starting from infancy, which is ghoulish to me. But he said, it's ghoulish. This is what he said. The study said. I mean, I'm just a quote. Overall, the study found that after 10 years, 17% of the unvaccinated children had a chronic health issue, while 57% of the vaccinated children had at least one chronic health issue. So they have been making kids sick. I mean, this is perverse, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, yes, this is a real horror show. I mean, you won't see this in a Stephen King movie or something. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the new It, and it's all about vaccines and how they're killing off the people or whatever. Or what was that other one where the Stand?
Yes.
It's like a kind of a nightmare. And they said they used to cover up for presidents, like under JFK, like with their affairs, like he had Marilyn Monroe or whatnot. But now this is the bigger cover up than anything I've ever seen, I think, because this is right near the top. I mean, if this study is accurate, a 40% different in health outcomes, 57% for vaxxed, 17% for unvaxxed on a serious health issue. I mean, it's not like it's 10% or 5%. We're talking about 40% increase based on this products that these people and it's an outrage. I mean, they got to do more studies. They got to get to the bottom of this, and the public has a right to know if these things are not safe. They should not be mandated for sure. And even if they were safe, I don't think they should be mandated, but they should be made aware of the dangers of these products. I mean, this is nuts to me. I don't know what you think.
Well, absolutely. Especially when it comes to autism, it spiked. It spiked where it was something that was extremely rare, and now it's common. Now, since when is that? I mean, I know someone that has two boys, and after they finished their shots, one after the other, both of them became autistic. Severely. Now that is, these people, it's depending upon the spectrum, as they put it, they may not be able to take care of themselves for the rest of their lives. And that came, and I think we were talking off air that there seems to be something in the works right now, and I think it's RFK Jr. has looked into this for a while, that they're gonna it can make the connection finally. Between the vaccines.
Yes, and they have some study that I think that wasn't released in the past that they're about the link with autism. And actually, when President Trump was with RFK, they mentioned it in one of those meetings where the press came in.
Yeah.
But he didn't explicitly say what the cause was, that it was vaccines. But he said they were getting to the bottom of autism, and they said it could be a drug product. The way Trump was saying it. I think he was indicating the vaccine.
Yes,
but he didn't explicitly say the vaccine at that point. But right. Given the parties involved and what we know, that's what I think they're going to say. But yeah, I mean, the autism rise is crazy. I mean, I don't know if you've been on TikTok, but it's like all TikTok now. You know what I mean? Because all these people have got some problem or some tick or some. A lot, like half the people I meet are autistic. I'm not even kidding. Some of them seem like high functioning, but yeah. I'm shocked, especially you go in these cities. I don't know what's gone into them. That's how they like Mamdani, because they're autistic. They got blue hair. They got 12 rings in their face, and they're, I don't know. Their dog is in pet therapy, and they're going to see pet therapists, and then. You know what I mean? It's just like these people are unhinged. Okay,
they are.
So we got to stop this. That's part of the problem, honestly. That everyone's getting autism and they're losing their minds. They're not functioning in a proper mental way that people were. Back in the day. We just lost Robert Redford, one of the greatest actors of all time. I mean, you don't find men like that. That is a classic gentleman. A great actor, a person. Real character. I don't think there's as much of that going on anymore in these, Gen Z. I don't know what you think, but
yeah. No, I agree. Well, as we're seeing the older actors, I didn't even know he was 89. Wow, I was shocked. They one by one, they're passing, and there's nobody to replace them because it's if anything, AI is sticking its technical nose in there, and so you don't know what you're watching anymore. It's true. Yeah. I mean, it's sick.
It's sick. Yeah, I'm watching AI Robert Redford. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Butch Cassidy and the AI kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I know. I don't want fake. You know what? And that's it. Separating people first. They did it with the lockdown, and then separating them too, because when you have autism, you don't communicate. You don't connect with people well. And then what else is new? There you have AI that's making sure people are looking and going, is this real? I mean, exactly. They're not going to be able to perfect that the way they think, because it always corrects the imperfections. And that's why you say, oh, this is AI, because it's too perfect and we're all not, So
exactly. And there's something creepy about it a little bit freakish sometimes when I watch an AI project or an AI element. And, people say, I don't know what it is, but it's something that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Right? And I'm wigging out or something, like I'm some meth head or something, because I'm like, what is going on with this? Too much AI. I like the authentic. I guess I'm an old school, the raw, the emotions and the character.
Real people.
Kind of stuff. Real, yeah. Sure, maybe you don't like Robert Redford's politics or whatever, but he was a man of the land. You see, like a river runs through it. He had that vibe of
Jeremiah Johnson. Wasn't that him too? Didn't he play that?
Yeah, Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Mountain Man.
Yeah, like that's there's something to that has been lost too. And then you see this shooter in Utah. Maybe this kid was, too much. He was autistic or something. I don't know, but he was on TikTok or something, and he got his mind.
We got to get rid of TikTok. Okay, we got to get this. It's CCP run. It's time to get rid of this, because they've been making more tranny kids than anything. They have. But you can't. You won't get that stuff if you're in China. They don't allow TikTok there to have any of that, because they want to just infect and destroy Western civilization. they want to keep the communism just the way it is, controlled. And here they've been infecting these kids on TikTok, you know, and that's exactly.
And also the TikTok gets them all, in my opinion, to be very free Palestine and not see the dangers of this Muslim invasion and say that Israel are genocidal maniacs and all that kind of stuff. You know,
if I hear that again, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah. But that's all you hear. Yeah. And it's like a rally cry. And one of these ideas gets in these kids' heads. And, you know, this kid, I'm not saying that was the reason he shot Charlie Kirk, but he did have the trans boyfriend, I guess. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so, you know, he was, I can just tell from that. I don't know. He's in Utah. He's got the trans boyfriend. He's in this liberal bubble. He's probably on TikTok all day. He was on Discord messaging. Yeah. And, you know,
there it is.
He was mentally unstable, and one thing leads to another. Yeah. And it's a problem in our society. Our society's gotten sick. Yeah. And that's how these things happen. We've got to get back to that we're all Americans and work a little together. I don't know. Sorry, I'm preaching today, but you know what I mean.
Well, that's what we're supposed to do. It's well, it is. Our country was based on Judeo-Christian precepts, okay, and Western civilization is what we all call normal, and what they call archaic. Well, let them call it whatever they want. That's what made this country great, and they've been destroying it little by little. And so it's up to us to stand up now, that no longer will anyone be allowed to, and it's going to have to start with the politicians, Democrat politicians, with the Nazi, with the fascist, with the Hitler. You know, you're out. Okay, no three strikes, you're out. If you're spewing that or they are our democracy, which we don't live in. We live in a constitutional republic. Our democracy, it's on the cliff. They can't say precipice because they're too stupid. But the precipice, and it's their fault if it goes, right? In other words, we're going to destroy their lives. This is what they give them the impression, and then they kill, you know? So, or they'll say, well, the trannies have gender dysphoria. They're mentally ill. It's still in the DSM-5. So, so get them help. Don't push them further into a delusion. You know, that's like saying, you know, I'm an insulin-dependent diabetic, and somebody shoving chocolate bars down my throat. Well, that's terrible, don't you? Well, of course not. You don't push somebody further into sickness, but that's what they're doing, because guess what happens? They're going to snap. They are going to snap, you know.
And also, we live in this culture now where there isn't someone keeping people in check, because everyone has their own world and their own reality. Your own YouTube, your own TikTok, and anything can be done with a pill or AI. So you don't have to really think for yourself. You got AI to think for you. If you're fat, you get Ozempic, you get a pill. You know, it's just whatever it is, they'll take care of it for you. Yeah. Oh, you don't have a job, they'll give you the money from the
person working, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's war people, and also it's sad,
communism, control. Yeah. Totalitarianism. Control, no matter what, whether it's communism, whether it's Islam, Sharia law, it's all control, and that's what they're doing, because you can't think for yourself, you can't do for yourself, and you definitely can't speak for yourself. But we're taking a stand against it. Time is almost up. I want to end it with this. What do we started with the UAPs and the UFO? The gas leak. Anyone? What did they? I mean, they're embarrassing themselves. They really are with this stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think is going on with it? Because
do you want to know the truth? You want to know do you really want to know the truth? Okay. They are seeing something, but they're demons. And that's exactly, so people, demons. Oh, you'll believe in an alien, but you won't believe in a demon, right? Come on. They cloak themselves any way they can. They can come in and out of this realm, and that's exactly what they do. So if you're going to believe that's an alien, they'll appear that way to you, but they're making fools of themselves, bringing these carcasses into. Come on, really?
Wow. Well, I'm of different minds of it, but I hear what you're saying, though. But all I know is I hear about interdimensional beings. That blows my mind, because I'm having enough trouble paying rent in this dimension. Now I got to worry about the next one. You know what I mean? Yes. I don't know what's going on over there. You got alternate side of the street parking over there.
Yeah, right.
Parking or what? but this some of this stuff is wild to me.
It's
Audrey.
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
How about this 31 Atlas? Well, I was curious what you thought of that. I know you're interviewing me, but we're conversing.
Well, what is that? What is that?
There's an object, an interstellar object that is coming towards the Earth. That's coming from another galaxy, and they've been tracking it.
Yeah.
And it's not a comet as far as they're aware, and it's doing things that no other object they've seen has ever done. And they say by December it will be closer to Earth. Now some are saying it's extraterrestrial, in other words, some kind of alien probe or something like that. It could be some other type of formation or rock that we haven't encountered before, but something's different about it.
Yeah.
And it is inviting a lot of speculation as to what it is,
Oh, I guess they're going to lock us down for it. Is that it? And it's not safe for anyone to go to a restaurant except for Gavin Newsom. And and be careful of that because it might come near a salon, but Nancy Pelosi could go in. So anyway.
I guess it's the super intelligence. And that's actually on top of it is a big billboard for Das Kapital.
Oh, Matt, where can the listeners follow and support your brilliant work, see you live, book you, and purchase all your books, including the Book of Outcasts? Where can they do all that?
Well, you can find me at mattnagin.com, Nagin.com. This weekend, I'll be at the Fairhope Unitarian Church doing a benefit for them in Fairhope, Alabama, a comedy show. And next week, I'll be at the Alabama Fringe Festival doing a comedy show at this place, Adrian's, here in Prattville, Alabama. And then also next weekend, my film is in a festival called the All the Laughs Comedy Festival in Atlanta. On that Sunday. So, I got a bunch of stuff coming up. Check me out also at Nagin, please, on my social media. And thanks a lot for having me on, Audrey.
Of course. And as always, I'll have those links on my after show, which is now on the live show page. Just go to audreyrusso.com, click on the honor button, and right under the show description, you'll find all the links and info you need to follow Matt's work. Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing your time and your assessments on these issues, especially the UAPs. Will you join us again on the show? Yes?
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. Until then, may God bless you, your work, and may God save America. Bye for now.